Coming to you live from sunny Arizona. The Steve Rude Show is now live.
Hey, Steve Rude here for another Steve Rude Live. Does this voice sound right, or is this a frog in my throat? No, I'm just, I didn't get up until, I got up early, okay? So no worries there. I just haven't talked in about an hour. So we got some exciting stuff here. We're going to read some announcements. We're going to remark on some letters that came in from you guys. And I'm going to go over the latest pages of Nexus Return to Earth, the latest hardcover that we're doing for the Rude Dude label. Also today we're celebrating Foot Day. Foot Day is honored by learning how to draw feet all over again. Last week was Hand Day. Now it's Foot Day. So one of the things I did to celebrate Foot Day is get out my foot reference right here. And this is all the hard angles that feet can be molded into. This is the outside foot, here's the inside foot. They're very different. And they don't even look the same as silhouettes, which is extremely odd. Go figure. So yeah, that's this is what I need to brush up on my feet, so that's why it's Foot Day. As far as the pages go, we've got some good stuff going on here. I'm going to be showing you pages 7 through 10. That's how productive I've been in the meantime. And one of those pages, being unfinished, we're going to be inking it today in front of your eyes. So you brush and pen guys, stay tuned for that. Community announcements. Are these women here at all by any chance? Is Zena a woman? I always cite the women. Welcome to our new Patreon members. $5 JD and Colin, and a 25 member Zena. God, I hope that's female, because we could really use female audience here. We have none as of the last 40 years. Nexus Returns to Earth, which is the comic that you're looking at right here, which I've been working on. I just got started on it a couple weeks ago, and I'm going great guns. It's so much fun. $25 Patreon members get to see all stages of the new page weekly. So whatever I'm working on, whatever new page I'm working on that day, you'll get to see it. And starting July 1st, which is like coming up like in a minute, $5 Patreon members will start seeing final ink pages weekly. So you high rollers get to see all the good stuff before the $5 people do. We're thrilled to announce the exclusive Backer Kit promotion. Backer Kit promotion is run by a bunch of very cool guys that really want to help people that are self-publishing. So exclusive Backer Kit promotion just for you. That's what it says. A 2025 Nexus Return to Earth ornament. Now, if you ornament guys, if you're an ornament or an oriental, this is the perfect gift for you guys. That is really cool. Designed by production genius Gino Gianelli. And take a look at all the things below there. That'll tell you everything you need to know about this. She worked long into the night to figure these things out. So I hope it's something that you would be interested in getting. Last week, I brought up this image right here and said, okay, all you watercolor guys, give this a shot. And I picked it for a very deliberate reason. Being the dude, I'm always very deliberate. So I did a little rough of the page that I was beginning to watercolor. So there's that. There's stage number 2, working from the photograph. And here is stage number 3. This piece is for sale, by the way, in our store. This is on Fabriano watercolor paper, cold press. And it's the finished piece that I did from that photo reference. Now, if you look at the photo reference, you'll see that it's drastically different because I took a lot of artistic license. I have such license in my wallet, and I'm always feel free to do exactly what I want based on that license. So there you go. Let's put this away right here. Christmas ornaments. Stuff. There's just never a lack of cool stuff here. Oh. Didn't see any submissions. Mr. Producer is just informing me that we have a lot of submissions from you guys. I, to this minute, have not seen them. But when Super pops them up, Mr. Producer is going to show them on the screen for everyone to drool at. Are we still looking?
Yeah, I'm showing them right
now. So we're looking right now. The dude is blindsided here. I cannot see what the camera's doing. Maybe that's a good thing. But Super, our ace director here, Mr. Producer, is always on top of things. We have a dick rolling around and we have a hound dog. Other announcements. The last few days, as a thank you for your support, you can get 25% off of your purchase if you buy from our online store. Type in thank you 25. Thank you 25. I took typing for 7 years, so I should be able to do that on my own. Type in thank you 25 during checkout. This includes all of the original art done during the live streams. You lucky dogs. So I'm going to move this aside right here. And now we're going to get into the inking. But first I'm going to tell you about the story, because the story is the foundation of everything that we draw. So Nexus and Sundra have just landed on Earth. Time for a sparkling drop of Schwepp of Essence. So the first thing is I had to design the cop shop. What does a cop shop in the future look like? What does NYPD headquarters look like? Well, I don't know. But this is my version of it right here. Mr. Producer is going to get a good shot of that. The second thing is a crowd of 1 million cops rushing into the foyer to meet Nexus and Sundra and Little Harry. His rep obviously precedes him, much like mine does. So all the cops are rushing everywhere to go see him. Now, the hard part for me, the thing I had to be most aware of, was leaving negative space so it wasn't just one gigantic crowd scene where I couldn't have a linear pathway to get to see what's going on. So anytime you can't read the page easily, it's because somebody's not very good. This one down here, I wisely left a lot of white space here. It's basically one long pan shot. The blacks are just where they should be, not overdone, which is, again, unusual for me. It's just very exciting here. I don't know, here's something I forgot to put in here. Protect, serve, book 'em. Dano. This is a number 10 micron, which is really good for the fat lettering. Oh, I whited out a few things because I had to. Tons of little storytelling stuff going on here because, you know, it's me doing this stuff, right? You know how I am about those weird things. I think this lady needs a little streak down the front of her outfit there, her cop outfit. You know, the thing is, Dick, what are you doing? There's always something. I think we could use a little white out here too. So I take one of these, whatever it is, the thing fell off. Grabbed the stuff off the tip of it because it tends to bead up. And there's the 3 little buttons that I happen to know go on these tricorder or these communicator-like things. Drawing's looking good. I'm very happy with it. Little things I'm going to have to change. The little expressions are a little off. Some of the faces are looking a little too similar. A lot of little things. You have to design all this stuff. What do cops in the future look like? What do their hairstyles look like? What does the inside of a shop look like? What would they have? Well, that's what I was wondering about when I started this page. And I do a lot of thinking before this gets drawn up, and then I just draw it up. And let me tell you, it is a blast. Spaceships. I had to think of a overall general cop type vehicle. The little things on top here, if you can see them, are little sirens and lights. Spaceships. There's a neat design I did right there. I never had done that before. Here's some guards at the front entrance. There's parking back there. There's a little weightlifting area in the back for guys that want to get pumped. And here's our main cast right here walking in. Nexus, Sundra, the beautiful blonde, and little Harry. So absorb that while I take some absorbing junior. I'll move this page over to here. And here is page 8. Okay, so what does the chief of police look like? Well, I had to figure that out. Where is the chief? And I knew the chief looked like another character, so I had to make sure he did not look like that other character. Of course, being the smart man that I am, I always have things at fingertip access, as I call it. There's Nipsey, the reporter's boss, and here is the chief of police boss. They just have to be different enough, even though their temperaments are very similar. You know how those guys are. So the interesting thing about this one, besides leaving just enough space, is when very, very important news comes over the computer here, they find out that there's some really bad things going on in downtown. So that was my cue to start putting lighting on them. So slowly they got darker and darker. Here they're in full light, getting darker, darker, really dark. And that's what you do to create mood. Or if you're a rude, you're a mood dude. Or in a dude mood. This girl right here has had her face whited out because I didn't realize that when I was going to pick it up on the next page, I wanted to make her a very distinct Oriental character. So I had a different face in here that I had to get rid of, and now I had to replace it with the one I figured out who she looks like now. So once I figured it out, it was good. Here is where kind of the story all takes place, which is human trafficking. And we know what those scumbag people are like. They're all over the world. I think they rarely get caught. But in comic books, they get caught. And in Nexus, Return to Earth, they're really going to get caught. So you'll want to stay tuned for that. So I had to think up something like this. Here's what has to go through my mind. I have to think up where they are. I see this thing in my head based on movies I guess I've seen. They have a place to sit. They have virtually nothing to do except talk among themselves. This girl's got a little teddy bear that she sleeps with at night. Some of them still have chains around their legs. But basically, you can tell it's not a happy scene. They're pretty down and out. Normally, girls like this are kept in good shape because they have all these jerk-off older guys that want to exploit them. So they have to keep them clean and pretty. This is on a non-wash day, so they're pretty dirty. What are they wearing? What's their hair type like? This right here is Latin. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's S-P-E-C-T-A-T. See, if you want to be smart, you do two things. Either you quote Shakespeare or the Bible, and you do it in Latin. So let's move this page aside right here. Oh, and by the way, I had to do it from different angles. This is the first angle I did it at. Now it's a different angle, and now there's this one looking down. I had to draw the environment 3 times. 3 spickle-spitting times, Jack. And then I had to make sure everything's consistent. What's this over here? This is number 8. This is a good inking brush right here. You saw me use a number 10 last time. And as long as that tip is good, we're good. we're going to have to do some blacks here. And one thing I didn't do is I didn't get a little thumbnail. I always want a little thumbnail before I start, so I can black stuff in. I mean, I might even take some of these open line drawings and silhouette them. So if Gino Giannelli could possibly get up a little 4 on a page of little thumbnails, we'll go through I'll show you the process of what I go through to figure out where the darks go. If it's really a scary scene, you use a lot of darks. If it's a happy scene, you don't use any darks, hardly. If it's an in-between sunny scene, watch the darks. You don't want to get carried away here. So, I'm just going to go on in here. I know some of the stuff I have to do, so there's no problemo with that. See, the dude knows Spanish here and can converse with anyone south of the border here. Let's grab the thick ink. This is the really thick acrylic ink right here that they've invented in the last couple years. And I know this needs to be blocked in right here, so let's just block it in. So we're using our big number 8 right here. I've told you guys endlessly about what I consider to be sissy brushes, and those are the ones all of you guys use. The number 2s and the 1s and the 3s and all that other rubbish. At Dude Central, we don't bother with nonsense like that. We go right to the big ones here, because you've all heard the adage, use the biggest brush possible. Now, if you're using a bigger brush and you don't happen to feel comfortable with it, well, we've got to do something about that. The inking has been going very well. It's been just a blast to get in there and do this here. For those of you that are expecting me to talk all the time like I usually do, this is going to require the ultimate thought process. I might even go into a Zen realm while I'm doing this. Oh, forgot to mention some people that have written in this week's latest comments. First of all, Ginger Salad, thanks so much for writing. I'm so glad you wrote to tell me what's going on. I miss you too. A girl, that's 2 of them so far. Commenting on Nexus page 1. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but if you can pop it up, Mr. Producer, we can show them all. Page number 1. He says it's a nice piece. It's very clear. Even if you're looking at it from a far point of view, we can totally understand what's happening due to good mastering of black areas on each panel. Well, that is what I'm emphasizing every day that we're going to be talking about the Nexus work here, is clarity, even when you even when you what, Steve? I forgot. Let's dip our ink into this thing right here. This poor Oriental girl has black eyes. So with my trusty little number 8 brush, I'm going to go in there just as a lot of people do with their puny, wimpy number 2s. Series 7, blah, blah, whatever, Series 2, Series whatever, I don't care. It's always the same. Guys, people are brainwashed out there, I swear to God. Now, you got to make sure that when you're inking these eyes, they match up as though they're looking at the same thing. Even when if you look at people's eyes when they're looking far away and looking close up, the pupils look a little different. They're arranged a little differently. It's always important to go to focus on nostrils. Some people are expert nostril men. I envy them. I don't really like doing this with a camera on me, but that's just too bad. I am the dude, and there are so many different ways to make sure I keep people coming in and finding these wonderful new Patreon members due to my suffering. Her teeth are a little uneven. I think she's going to need some dental work. The hand. I had this hand drawn in just line, and I thought it needs some blacks in there. So before you guys became aware of it, I rushed into the other room where I shoot my pictures, and that is kind of like it has a light set up there, so I can see what things look like when they're lit. One of them was this hand here. What is it going to look like? I don't know. Let's go find out. Let's do our work and find out. Oh, I dipped it in the skinny stuff here. For shame, for shame, for shame. Oh, I hear one of those dicker walling again. What else is new? We're approaching the Zen-like state as we speak. There are rhythms on everything you draw. See the rhythm, the curve there? I learned that from the school I went to, the Calabasas school, where my wonderful friend Glenn Orbick taught me so much of what I already knew, but much more than what I already knew. Wonderful guy. We all miss him. Probably the best teacher I ever had. How's that? Yeah. Were we able to get up some of those watercolors up, Mr. Producer?
Yeah, I showed them on the screen.
Okay. Oh, I hear toenails clicking. That's Mr. Hound Dog right there. Let's show him a picture of Mr. Hound Dog in the event that there is somebody out there that doesn't know what Hound Dog looks like. Flow hard. You're normally a camera hog. Get with it, flow hard. You knob smoker. So this is how I ink with a brush right here. Most of the stuff you've already seen on there already is pen work with permanent black India ink. Okay, so this is going to have a cast shadow. Everything's about legibility, legibility. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know, Fiddler on the Roof. Whoever hasn't seen Fiddler on the Roof, for shame. Because you'll often find that in musicals you will find the secret of life. Just as the dude has found out on his own, so must it be with yous. Oh, thumbnails, excellent. See the precision you can get with a big fat brush like the one I'm using right here? Now some people are so bombastic they go insane. Some of these strokes you're going to see are going to be slashes. They're going to be very bold, and some are going to have to be very delicate, like the hair I'm working on now. So that thing I just screwed up is finely tuned. I feel real loose like a long-necked goose, you know. Oh, baby, that's what I like. That could be all blacked in, by the way. We'll see. I'll reevaluate it later on. And see if I can obliterate it. Obliterate, that's a good comic book word. A lot of people in the story are going to be obliterated. Well, let's see, how does this go here now? Okay, so remember I told you about last time when I was doing the old lady, the inking on the old lady. I emphasized the importance of not offending old ladies by knowing the way their hair is styled when they go into the shop. I mean, that's what they go in for. Yeah, it's going to be short, it's going to be gray, but they're all concerned about their looks, no matter how old they are, when life has robbed them of their beauty. You guys have seen a lot of guys ink on the YouTube channels. There's this guy and that guy and every guy in between. So those are all will also give you a really good idea of how people do this stuff. This is a lotus flower right here. It was done from memory because I've seen my share of lotus flowers. Or no, is it a cherry blossom? It might well be. I might stand corrected here. Notice the borderless deal going on here. Notice the reflective light down here underneath her chin. That's where these things all tend to happen anyway. So that was a quick stroke right there. I'm tempted to say something stupid like, well, it's because I've been doing this for 40 years. What I'd like to add to that is diligent for 40 years. Extreme diligence. Oh, I had to rough up her face a little bit here because they're in bad places right now. Let's switch this stuff right here. The skitty stuff, I don't need that right now. I'm going to move it over here so I can get to the thick stuff. It just makes sense. It just makes common sense. A few of my knowns. You guys ever hear that expression? When you're stuck and you don't know where you're going to go with your knowns. And the unknowns can miraculously often solve themselves once you put the knowns in. Not to be confused with gnomes. They have nothing to do. I don't know what gnomes do with their knowns, but here's my skinny little, you can see Mr. Producer valiantly getting up there, giving you the close-ups you so deserve. That's because at Rude Dude, we really have our act together. Last time I checked. And when we don't, it's the punishment room. You get it? I get it. Hey, I've been there. What's good for the dude is good for the gander. Lately, I've been listening to Quadrophenia by The Who. It's just freaking brilliant. But who's surprised by that? It's funny because Townsend, the lead guitarist, as we all smart people know, there was a time when I never had to make any reference to who he was. Good Lord. It's so funny because he's so honest about everything. They asked him why he's going on tour again. He says, "Well, I need the money. He's got this huge yacht that he needs the bread for." Vary the hair. It can't be just one long straight vertical. Hair is this way and that way and every other way. We'll see how far I can get away with not having to use the little thumbnails to plan my blacks out better. This is a cast shadow. She's kind of got a gunny sack on. I guess that's what, I don't even know what a gunny sack is, but if I did, I would guess it's something that you put potatoes in. Oh, she's got her buttocks on the floor. All right, so we have to do a diagonal here. Oh, there's my feet again. I think to do those feet right, as we zen out, I'm going to have to go in with a really stiff, skinny nib. So it doesn't give me a thick and thin kind of thing, because I don't really want that right now. I want this. It's hard enough to do these little tiny toes. That's why today is foot day. So you go this way, that way, okay. I'm improvising some folds here. See, all you guys that grew up at any other time than us cool guys did in the 60s and the 50s, I can't believe what you missed out on. If you think things are good today, and of course you know they're not, compared to what we had growing up, then you know. Oh, she's got black hair, doesn't she? I do believe she does. Yes, she does. So this is something that I want you guys to know about here. This is called massing without highlights. Her face is still going to read just fine, but it's going to be black on black, see? Sounds like a Mandingo movie. So, this poor girl, okay, she's got a cast shadow down there on her head. You don't want to get too carried away. You want to be very selective about how you put the hairs in. And if I screw up, we reach for the white paint. The singing brought to you by the dude high school choir is of no charge. The dude Tabernacle. There you go. That's what I was wanting to say. I was talking with friend Alex Ross the other day. He sent me some books, and I think he wanted some advice on some stuff. So I thought, why don't we get Alex on here on the Rude live show? So if you guys are good for that, we're going to get the reclusive Mr. Alex on here to talk about everything he doesn't like to talk about. So write in, kids, with your letters and let us know if you would be good for something like that. I don't like it when people whistle around me, but there's no one around me, so I can whistle. This is the underside right here. Of the cloth. I put this cloth in kind of for a directional movement thing. You know, it's a composition deal, right? This girl's a blonde. Okay. God knows I would not want to mess this girl's hair up. I mean, the emotional fallout that could happen to me as her artist could be just awful.
We got someone named Ernest Graham writing in saying yes for Alex Ross.
Okay.
Getting him on.
So we'll get Alex on. Alex is actually in the Stone Age as much as I am as far as today's tools and all this stuff that we love so much. We don't know anything about it, so naturally we let our wives do everything. and they're the ones that suffer for it. See, some of these poor girls have have these locks around their feet, keeping with Foot Day. Rain on me, rain on me. Da, 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 da. I tell you, music is so analogous to doing what I'm doing right here. It's almost like there's no division between the two art forms. I've always told you that I wish I could just magically go up and play guitar on a stage someday, but the union would fire me in half a second and haul me off with some really big guys. But that is a wish of mine. Okay, this black is going to go right into Chinese girl's face here. Thankfully, I think it's going to work okay. See, if you're going to whistle on a live stream, you've got to pick the right song. And the dude here, based on the year I grew up, has nothing but impeccable taste, which is something you already know. So I don't tend to bring it up too often because I don't have to. This poor black chick has got, she's really not doing good today. So that's how I ink the black girl's hair. Afros are coming back in the future, so make no mistake about that. The feet, boy, I tell you, better be careful with your feet. A foot is a terrible thing to waste. Oh, I guess I can give this a highlight here. If I don't like it, I can always go back and black it out. Some of my fondest artists, like Paul Gulacy, the Big G, would render things in exquisite detail, which is just exciting to look at. If you look at the books he inked in Master of Kung Fu, you'll see what I'm talking about. If you don't have those issues, you won't know what I'm talking about. But I suggest you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so it's Chinese girl again. She's got black hair. All this was done with a brush so far. I mean, a pen. I remember I was at Al Williamson's house when he had his barn. Oh, I love that barn. His new house didn't have any of the flavoring that the old barn had. But when I was there, I just remember up in this barn, this loft, in the barn where normally the hay is. Hey, hey, hey. That's the new Go-Go song. Hey, hey, hey. It was such a comfortable place to be. And I loved that about being there. And then he moved, and it just wasn't the same. Now, obviously, I could just black this in without any sense of highlights here. A pure black silhouette of form is perfectly allowable. I want to get some of these lines skinnier, okay? So I'm going to... I see we're getting correspondence from the president, which is always a good thing. Oh, okay, the homework. I thought it was Elon Musk or the president. It's always one of the two. Or Spielberg, come on. They never leave me alone. Homework. What is the homework, Mr. Producer? From last week? Oh, that stuff. For me, it was this week. Am I a week behind the times here? Girls need some hairs around their ears. They kind of hang over. So there's your hairs right there. This might overshadow the hair a little bit. That sound you just heard, people, I hear that every day. That is my Xerox machine turning off. Okay, who's next for the black stuff? Here's where you can't see the lettering here, but there's a little speaker up here that comes on every now and then, just to almost as though it's like a companion, but it's always a brainwashing companion, because you know how those things go. Oh, let's block in a few more of these. Oh, it's a foot. And we know what it's like to have to draw shadows and feet. It's a good thing I practice my feet, it being foot day. Thank God. Okay, here's a cast shadow right here. But mind you, folks, as they say in the 1800s, used to say, this are only little things. What I want are the big things, and that's when you need this thing right here to show you where it's going. So when you make up little things like this, this is where you can figure your blacks out. If it's going to work, it's going to be too much or too little. That's how I figure them out. I'm so glad you asked, because I was waiting to tell you that. Oh, this poor blonde girl. I especially have sympathy for the blondes. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do something funny here. I'm going to render this teddy bear with lines like this. Yeah. Okay. It's better than just blackening it in. Do we have a nice big close-up there, Mr. Producer? Good. Now, they're not quite in as much of a circle as they should be, so we're gonna modify that a little bit. Make the arc higher and rounder. You see the agony people go through when they're doing comic books. I was reading this thing about master artist Gil Kane. I met Gil Kane several times because I was of that age, right? The perfect age to enter the business. And I found him to be a wonderful intellectual type of person. Much like myself, that's probably why we got along. And he was saying, boy, you younger guys, God, what you missed out on is just agonizing to have to explain this to you guys. When he was invited to briefly get out of comics and go into animation, doing one of the Superman shows back in the 90s. And Neil Adams wanted the job. He tried to take it away from Gil Kane, but it didn't work. So Gil Kane got the job. He had so much fun doing that. People were always wonderful to him. He had a great rep that helped him gain the respect that he was so deserving of when he walked into Ruby Spears to do that show. I hope that works. Nope, it doesn't. Here, I'm going to modify it a little bit. Does that work? No, I have to black this in here. See, folks, that's why you have to black things in. Hopefully that works. The pattern must always be easy to read, no matter what you do. So anyway, when he got out of animation after a couple of years of working on the Superman show, doing layouts and models designs and things like that, he went back. He had to go back to doing comics because he loved comics. And what he said was, "I can't believe how much work comics are compared to animation." Now, isn't that something? Yes, it is. Because only the most exciting things are told on the Steve Rude Live show. If it's not good enough to make the air, it doesn't make it, period. We're going to dip my pen or brush in the water a little bit to moisten it up. Now, all this stuff here has got to be worked out. Now, I happen to know that this is all going to be blacked in here, so we'll just give a little indication here. How we doing time-wise, Mr. Producer?
We are 46 minutes in.
You're kidding. What? I thought this was 23 minutes in. We're already over the allotted time that the station has allowed us here at Dude Central. See, we pay these guys a lot of money to tell us when we have to get off the air, because the new kids on the block are going to be coming up right after me. I can't believe it. So I have this nice big arc going on there. And we can wrap it up after this, after I block in these blacks. You'll see how it's very easy to... oh, sorry, the Zen Light state is canceling out my ability to talk. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. I know a man without a problem. That wouldn't be me. Do I know a man without a problem? I better keep looking. Okay, so all this stuff is a way to kind of like focus the group atmosphere here. So what I'm going to do, because I'm just that good about talking and demonstrating at the same time, one of those types, right? I'm going to, next time we come back, I'm going to work out these reduced size pages right here for the black and whites. And then you're going to see, we're going to shoot this as is when I'm done. And then we're going to continue this next week to show what I have to do to finish the page with this much black, this much white space, this much this or much of that. But I'll work it all out in here for, and that's the thing I want to leave you with today. So people, I want to tell you, it's just been incredibly enlightening to have your company. So with that being said, remember, just because it's foot day here doesn't mean it doesn't have to be foot day there. I'll see you for the next foot day and the next inking in the blacks day before you know it. Adios.